Hello, it's Lyndsay Allison back with another video. This one is called 10 Simple Habits to Keep Your Home Clutter-Free. Clutter is powerful. It may be made merely of extra things, the obsolete and the unnecessary, but it is so much more than that. Or at least it can become so much more than that. If we hold it tight and look away from it at the same time, it can take over our mind and our home. It's sticky, it's opportunistic, and all it wants is a place in our home to settle down, to grow old, and to be left alone to get dusty and stay forgotten. So when we're just too tired to make those agitating little decisions about receipts we may need, books that we'll never read again, or about an old sweater that we paid good money for that just doesn't quite fit right, our random perspective future clutter gets comfortable. It languishes, and it hopes we'll never get to the decision or the follow-through. And the longer we wait, the harder it gets to make the decisions. But the thing about it is that the longer that we do wait, the easier it will be for us to forget that we don't actually need it. And each of those things that we leave to be dealt with for another time, it gets a little harder to let go of and takes a little piece of our own rightful space and serenity. So if we have some easy ways to keep our clutter from growing back, it makes the progress and the process of staying clutter-free so much easier. So, here are 10 ways that I myself maintain my clutter that are easy, effective, and actually kind of fun if you get into it. Number 1, set a limit for item types and keep an idea of the inventory that you have. Some things we're constantly going through, so it can seem like a good practice to be constantly getting more of these things. But this can be a recipe for disaster, or at least for too much of a good thing. So it's good to know how much you have and to decide on what is enough, be it shampoo, hoodies, pantry items, scissors, or SD cards. If we mindfully know how many we have and how many we feel we should have at one time, the accidental overbuying or inadvertent hoarding can become a thing of the past. Our home as a storage space is only so big, but more than that, desires change and expiry dates come. Also, the one in, one out rule can be helpful for some things too. So if you get a new hoodie and you feel like you have enough, maybe it's time to go through your old hoodies that you do have in order to get rid of one that you no longer feel like you use or need. Number 2, deal with stuff as you bring it into your home. Whether it's mail, Amazon packages, or keys, jackets, groceries, a set of bowls that our sister gave us, if you set a rule to deal with whatever it is that you've brought home before you rest or change the subject, a lot of the clutter that just happens doesn't get a chance to do so. If something comes to our home, it deserves a place where it belongs. So if we do that right away, the clutter doesn't get a chance to take hold. And the garbage doesn't get a chance to take seed either. Or even worse, become an unwarranted sentimental item. It happens. Number 3, keep your fridge organized and wiped down, or make an appointment to do so once a week. Clutter can happen quickly in the fridge. It's dark in there, and we don't have to see it unless we open the door. So it can easily get a little nuts in there, and a little out of control too. So I try to make it a weekly thing, generally before the grocery shopping, to see what's going on in there and to make plans for the things that I may have forgotten about before they get nasty. I truly find it to be an underappreciated gift to open the fridge to a tidy, curated selection of the foods I'm using and enjoying. It's too easy for food to get lost in there, so if it's organized and there is a plan for the items in there, it will keep the clutter from taking over this area. Also, with grocery shopping, it's a good plan to have a plan before you go shopping. Number 4, keep counters and tabletops default to empty and maintain regularly. It's so easy to just put things on a flat surface when you're in a hurry or are in the process of doing something else. But the thing is, if these tabletops and flat surfaces are always filled with things, that starts to feel like the way it's supposed to be. And so it stays filled up, and then it's very easy to just keep adding to it. And suddenly you have no idea what is on the table, or what actually belongs on the table. And then things start to get lost. So be intentional with what goes on the table. A lamp, a photo, a book, your glasses, whatever it is that you feel belongs there. Be thoughtful about the decision to make the item belong on this space. Clutter creates clutter. So don't let a free space be a default for a bunch of things that belong somewhere else. If you've always been putting things where they belong, the effort is less than if you save it for when you have time or when you're tidying up. Because if you have to put it all away at once, you won't have time. Number 5, have a donation box in an often visited area. Maybe in your hall or your bedroom closet or next to the door, and deal with it regularly. When it gets filled up, gather it up and bring it to your donation center or the friend that you offered it to. If it's always just there waiting for your cluttered gifts, it just becomes ingrained in you. The commonality of decluttering. Things become obsolete or unnecessary. We change, and things don't. It only makes sense that we need to continuously bid farewell to possessions. No big deal. It's just life. Number 6, schedule a deep clean in a different chosen area once a week. It could be a drawer, it could be a closet, it could be the kitchen floor. The possibilities are endless, but chances are we know which spot needs a little extra love. So choose an area that needs a little extra love and take some time to do a deeper clean on that spot. You could schedule 20 minutes every week to do something and then just get to it. My experience is that even if it seems like it will be a grueling and unexciting task, once I get going, it actually becomes enjoyable most of the time. And if not, the result of those 20 minutes always make up for the annoyance of the effort tenfold. And as I use the drawer or area that had become messy or disorganized, it's just so nice. It's like working out. Even if you don't want to do it, once you've done it, you're always glad you did. Number 7. Remember your extracurricular activities or hobbies and change them out or dust them off regularly. Have you ever noticed that the interest you have for the things you do for fun at home can come and go in waves? Sometimes it's all you do, and then other times you forget that you ever wanted to do it. I am definitely this way. So I try to remind myself of the things that have been sitting out for 2 weeks and that I haven't touched. It might be a good idea to check in with myself about these hobbies and to decide if perhaps it's time to put them away for a bit. Or maybe I'm just not interested in this endeavor anymore. Either way is perfectly fine. It's just best to acknowledge which one is true, and then to deal with the mess. Sometimes if I'm not giving attention to something that I normally enjoy, just the act of putting it away for a bit seems to somehow ignite my interest in it. And when I pull it out, I'm genuinely interested again. Number 8, do a nightly reset. If we have a place for everything that we use, and we return it to that spot before we retire for the night, things will stay clutter-free. It's also a bit of a gift to my groggy morning self to have a tidy home to wake up to. It doesn't take too much time, and once you're in the ritual of it, it can be kind of calming. The blanket on the couch, bits and bobs that got pulled out during the day, dishes, just the regular things that got used and haven't been brought back to where they live. It feels nice. Number 9, change out seasonal necessities as needed. The things that are just out and easy to get to during one season can be unnecessary mess at the wrong time of year. So keep an eye out for items that are not needed as the weather changes. And number 10, aspire to be tidier. It can be easy to just feel like you're getting away with it. If the place gets a bit messy, as long as you don't have company and any good reason for your place to be needing to be clean, what's the real harm? But the thing is, our life is harder and more stressful when we're dealing with a messy home. Our home, when cluttered and untidy, even if no one else sees it, it affects us negatively. Living in disarray steals our time and our ease. It takes a calmness and a feeling of comfort that we deserve to feel every time we enter our home. So remember that this tidiness journey is something that we deserve to live in, to live with, and to embrace for ourselves. Please let me know in the comments below what habits help you to stay clutter-free. And please, if you're so inclined, like and subscribe. It's a small thing to give my video a thumbs up, but it has great effect on the channel's growth. Every thumbs up and comment that I receive tells YouTube that it is a worthy and worthwhile video that people enjoy. And with this knowledge, there is a larger likelihood that it will be shown to more people. Thank you guys so much for listening to my thoughts and for going on this journey with me. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.